Good morning. Thank you for watching. Another beautiful Lord's Day. A little bit cool out here today. Be a good day to go to church, and beautiful day. Sun shining. If you get a chance, go. We got our sick list. We got Ronnie Robinson, Ashlyn Hare, Nick Dutton, Ryan Sanders, Annalise Silvecchio, Pat Nichols, Doyle Duke, Bruce Lewis, Sandy Lewis, Randy Burnett, Lee Heath, Brent Brandon, Steve Milburn, Reba McHenry, Perry Wells, Chanel, Crystal Chanel, Brandon Schwartz, Hunter Higgins, Sharon Armstrong, Robert Pitts, Denise Sensum, Melanie Mayo, Gary Blanton, Pam Brown, Roger Turney, and Way Candy Corn. That's a big list. We need to send sympathy to the families of Mike Nichols, Frida Zollinger, Lonnie Marie Atnip, and Ricky Sizemore. So please keep all these people and their families in your prayers this morning. This lesson is going to be coming from Psalm 16, verse 8. And it says, I have set the Lord before me, Lord always before me. So what does it mean to set the Lord before me always? That's saying that you put God before anything else. You put God before yourself. You put God before your family. You put God before your fellow man. But that does not mean that you don't take care of your family and your friends and God, and other people. That means that God comes first. You think about God in everything you do. You get God in your mind, and you make decisions for yourself. And God being in front of you, you will treat your fellow man better. You will treat your family better. You will have good things in your life. So that's something that we need to think about. In Psalms 16:11, we are reminded that in the presence of God there is fullness of joy and true happiness. So why would that be? And it's because God is good. God is full of goodness. So if you've got God in your life, that means you don't have bad things in your life, and you're going to have blessings from God. And does that mean that you're not going to have trials and tribulations? No, it does not. We're all going to have trials and tribulations through our life. You will show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore. I am sure that all Christians would agree, but even so, there are times when we all find ourselves not as close to God as we would like. We find ourselves spiritually weak, filled with desperation and anxiety. In such times, what can we do in order to become closer to God again? The answer is found in Psalm 16, verse 8. I have set the Lord always before me, because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. It is when we set the Lord before us that we receive the benefits of his presence. Set the Lord before you through, here's some ways of doing that, is set the Lord before you through God's creation. Let nature help you draw closer to God, for the creation speaks to us of God. It tells us a story of his glory and his knowledge. It impresses us with his eternal power and his deity. In their own way, such inanimate objects worship God. Have you ever thought about how beautiful the trees are? If you were driving down the road and every tree was it was perfect, it was a certain shape, and every one of them were the same. They were all the same color. That would be pretty boring, I think. because we drive down the road, you know, we look out in our front yard and we see trees that are all different shapes, all different sizes, all different colors. The leaves are different, you know, and what beauty that is. God makes things perfect by being not perfect. You know, a house is all built square and straight and nice, and but trees are natural, and so we need to think about the power that God has, you know, to create something like that. When we take time to contemplate God's creation, we understand more of His power and of His person. This understanding enables us to come closer to God. Just as increasing understanding between friends enhances friendship, as does any relationship. Others use natural settings to draw closer to God. Isaac would go out into the fields to meditate. Jesus would often go to the mountains to pray. It may be easier to draw closer to God in the midst of God's creation, nature, and away from man's creation. You know, I think we would do good in this country. I think I see people on the computer or internet, wherever, people are just going crazy about different things, you know, and they're just like they can't stand anything, you know, and they don't like it because it's not going their way. Well, they need to get out in nature, I think, and take a deep breath and just relax and kind of get their thoughts together. I think some people are just shoved up in those houses and they never get out, and they just always see the same old things, and they need to get out and enjoy the sunshine, or enjoy the pretty weather, enjoy the nature, and go back closer to God. I think that would help a lot of people, just getting a good breath of fresh air. And so there's a song that we sing at church sometimes. It's Walking Alone at Eve, and it says, walking alone at eve and viewing the skies afar, bidding the darkness come to welcome each silver star. I have a great delight in the wonderful scenes above. God in His power and might is showing His truth and love. So this tells us, you know, that God is all powerful. You know, I was talking a minute ago about the trees. Well, man, there's so many different things in this world that God put His power and might into, and His thoughts, and made those things so perfect, you know, like the mountains and the flowers and the animals and everything, and even us, you know, He made each one of us individual. And so we got to look at God's world and think about His power and might. And we got to put God in front of us. And when we come upon a bad situation, maybe we can put God first, and realize that He's going to take care of us, and He's going to make things right. Um, so I hope you can get something out of my little lesson here this morning. This is getting close to Christmas. You know, everybody tries to remember the birth of Christ in Christmas, and I say that we probably need to remember the birth of Christ every day. So keep all that in mind, and Christ is the reason for the season, and please don't forget that. Well, if you can, keep all our sick people on your prayer list, and all those that have lost loved ones. We'll ask you to pray for our military men and women. Please pray for the family of the lady that got shot, the National Guard person that got shot in Washington, and please keep that family in your prayers, and the other one that got shot, please keep him in your prayers, that he will have a full recovery. Please keep all of our military men and women in your prayers. Please keep our first responders in your prayers, our doctors and nurses, and all the folks that keep us safe and healthy. Thank you for watching. God bless. See you next time.